see what we can get done today.
Doing that again without dropping stuff. Come on. Don't cross right there. This is just for mock-up purposes. Okay, so we got that. Let's get this out. Those days, I'm just gonna keep dropping stuff. Set that stuff right there. That looks like it's backwards. Oh well. It's not permanent.
the disc brake setup I have for this. They're 12-inch discs with a 2-inch drop spindle and the factory bolt pattern. That's also from CCP or CPP or whatever it is. I've also got an upgraded steering drag link set up for it. That is also from the same company. I got a lot of stuff from them. Come on, there we go. Slide just a little bit out of the way. They've been a pretty decent company for me to deal with, so I keep going with them. They sell a lot of stuff for like 57 Chevys and hot rods and all that stuff, so. Stick with what works. You know, I honestly think that we are on the wrong end here. Let's see if I go, I'm going to go look at the original suspension that came off this and see if the top control arms are curved or what. That's as I suspected. That figures. Oh, I got to clean the shop. Tripping over crap. So I believe I've got these on the wrong side. I'm going to switch them just to see if that makes any difference in how stuff lines up. Otherwise, we may have an issue. Hopefully I'll have some more exciting stuff to show you guys as soon as we get through winter, you know. Unfortunately, the way they designed this barn, all the snow comes off the roof and blocks the door. And usually when it comes off the roof, it is half frozen, so there's no real moving it. But as soon as the snow is gone, I hope to get the 57 two-door wagon in here to get it off that 4x4 frame. And get it set on this. Hopefully by then I have the suspension all done. Been having heater problems here in the shop, so I've been fighting trying to get stuff fixed. Plus we got another cold spell coming, and it's just not worth trying to heat this huge space when it's that cold out. You really just, unless you're sitting right in front of the heater, you freeze to death. As much as I like working on cars, I'm not sitting here trying to freeze myself to death. Switching sides now and see how that works out for us. See, I don't know. That looks like it's lined up a lot. Let's see what we get. actually going through some of the older footage that I filmed when I first got this camera, and I have a video on my 40 Studebaker, the 5-window coupe that my father and I keep trading back and forth. So I might post a short video or slide it in at the end of this one, so you guys have something to watch and can actually see how bad off, how rough that body is. I still think I can save it. He's also got a, what is it? It's not a Pontiac Solstice, it's a Saturn Sky. He's got two Saturn Skies. One's a red line. The red line's the turbo model. I always thought it'd be cool to take that, strip it down to the chassis, and then basically build that 40 Studebaker on top of it. I think that would be awesome. But I mean, with all the projects I've got right now, I don't have time for that. We'll see down the road. It's not like it's going anywhere. He's tried to sell it with little to no luck. So hey, if anybody who's watching this that's interested in two Pontiac, or not Pontiacs, but Saturn Skies, they are both convertible 2-seater coupes. One's a red line, one isn't. One's got front end damage, one has rear end damage. You'll see that when I post the video. I think he's asking like $5 for both of them. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on it. Might have to put a motor on this frame just to add some extra weight, because part of installing the lower A-arm and the lower control arms in those shocks, you're going to have to combine, compress the shocks. Come on, stop trying to cross-thread me. And in order to do that, I'm going to have weight on this. I mean, as if it's not, blatantly obvious. I've got no formal training. I just have a love of old cars. I've always loved these older cars and whatnot. So that's going to come out like that. Serious work here. Loosens it. Now supposedly up in here, try to see if I can find it with my hand. Nope, not finding it. So there isn't. I was always under the impression there was a pocket in here that the spring sat in. So apparently that is not correct. I'm never going to be able to get that completely done anyways. But no, I'll have some weight on this frame. Plus I gotta finish doing all the work to it. Struggling with the welder, right? Don't buy cheap welders. Nothing but headaches. And this one has definitely been a headache. I mean, I've said a few times with this frame, you know, a lot of stuff that's wrong with it is stuff that was done when it was a drag race car. It just isn't the way I would have done it. I mean, truth be known, for the time it may have been how they did things. I don't know. But what I do know is it was not ideal for what I had planned for it. There we go. I know, it's kind of pointless doing this, but I've been antsy since I bought this setup to put it on and see how it looks, so. Plus, I guess, I suppose it gives us some content. Okay, so we're going to keep that rubber piece right there because I don't want to lose that. This frame has a steering box? No, it does not. Great. That means I'm going to have to go out in the cold tomorrow and steal the bolts out of the steering box on the 55 frame because I don't have them for this steering box. I did just locate the rear shocks, which match to the front shocks, for the 4-link setup. I'm waiting for an adapter for my welder to run an 11-pound welding wheel on it. So the welding cable. It's not cable. Wire. There we go. The welding wire. Wow, my brain just totally shut down on me there for a second. Well, let's see what else I got I can mess with. Like I said, I believe that is motor mount stuff. This is a transmission mount. No idea where that's supposed to mount. I'm going to have to put a motor inside the chassis to find out. That's I have no idea what that is. What that is. What that is. So I guess those red plastic puck things that are kind of where the coilover sets down in the lower control arm, I think they just send those for shipping reasons. I'm not seeing, because the way these shocks are is they bolt, there's 2 bolts that go down through a little pin into the lower control arms. And those holes don't exist in those pucks, so I'm fairly certain that they're not a necessary thing for installation. Let's see, we got some hardware here. That looks very motor mount-ish to me. Yep, those are motor mounts. So this was motor mounts. I seem to remember that this set, I don't remember exactly where it goes. But it's supposed to move, this set's supposed to move the engine, I believe, 3/4 of an inch forward. So, but I also read that you're going to have to drill out a rivet, but I'm not seeing anywhere where a rivet is going to come into play. That's going to be too far forward. That's where the... Huh. I'll have to look up this kit again and see where the heck, how the heck it mounts. Because I am just not seeing it. It's not obvious to me. Just kind of weird. It is for 57s though, because everything I buy is 57 Chevy specific. Try to cut down on, you know, the guesswork of all of this. This does make me curious though. What is this? Oh, this here is a mounting bracket. I believe it's for the power steering pump. But the pulley kit that I got actually has the mounting for the power steering and all that. I just screwed myself there. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the other side of the shop here and grab the back shocks. Oh, yeah, of course. Drop everything on the floor at least 100 times. That is all the nuts and bolts for the 4-link setup, which is actually right here. I'm going to have to look that up and see how that's supposed to be installed. Kind of a lot of work to do before spring. Like the front horns here, I got to completely rebuild the bottoms and the inner front sides because they had these steel plates welded to it for all I can assume was a push bar. Okay, let's see what we can do with this mess. Well, the good news is it's loose. Working on this stuff, it doesn't take a genius, obviously, I'm far from that, but you just got to have an ability to think your way through stuff and do research. The funny thing is out of all my friends, I am the only one that knows anything about cars that I would consider my inner circle or close friends, which I don't understand how that happened at all. I have a couple friends that they don't belong within 100 miles of a car with tools. I'm sure at some point I'll have a video with one of them or even both of them in it. So the bottom ones don't move that well. That makes me wonder, do I need to undo the shock to install the bottom A-arm, control arm, whatever. Come on. The other problem is these shocks right here that I'm mocking up, these are actually big block shocks. Those are actually going on the other car right there. Or at least they're supposed to. I've got a set of small block ones, I just don't feel like going and getting them at the moment. So for mock-up purposes, we will use this. Where did I stick my jack? Right there. Oh, at least it was handy. Let's see how far we get. There we go. Definitely time to clean in here again. Yeah, the other problem I've had is I've spent the last like month and a half trying to rewire this shock because originally it wasn't wired to have welders and all that stuff in here. Which is a little counterproductive. I don't mind telling you, it wasn't cheap. I'm not trying to get the holes perfectly lined up. I'm just trying to get them lined up enough that I can get a nut and bolt through it. There we go. Pretty much sounded like a winner. I'll tell you right now, it's not 100% correct. Same size or what? Yes, they are. Okay, well, let's see if we can get the other side in. I mean, my little short legs trying to crawl over everything doesn't exactly help. Okay, so I'm going to have to come down just a little bit on that. think we're making progress. Oh, until I did that. Come on, just thread on there. Problem is, it's in a really tight spot. Maybe I get the back one to go in. Oh, of course, back one's got multiple threads showing. Okay. Hey, I think that did the trick on the back. The problem seems to be is it's interfering with the cross member. I may have to grind down the top hat part of that. Got the two on this side down. Where does that leave us on this side? Should be able to knock that one out too. Now we get to do the other side. One thing's for sure, gotta have patience working on this stuff. There we go. Lower control arm is connected. Now let's see. Drop it. Oh, good. I was hoping it'd be easy to push down because I don't know. I might try to put the brakes on. Excuse me. It's a little cold out here in the shop, so I apologize if I sneeze a bit. I've also got the control arms, sway bars, which are sitting over here behind me. But I can't really do anything with them at the moment because I've got to fix those front horns before I can mount those. But again, been fighting with my damn welder. Came out here earlier to get some work done, and well, it just did not cooperate. Okay, so all of these are gonna have to be loosened because I can't do it by hand. Oh man, screwed myself again. This is why it's also important to have a clean shop, otherwise you would spend a lot of time walking all the way around stuff. You grab tools instead of just taking the shortcut. But whatever. Just barely too small. So we're gonna get lucky? Probably not. That's too big. Oh man, my nose is not happy. Those are scheduled 8s. Cooperate. I'm my own worst enemy. Keep dropping stuff. That one's gonna need wrenches. And of course, I'm going to need vice grips. Where do I stick them? Not seeing them over there. Well, this is kind of counterproductive. Can't get stuff done if I keep misplacing stuff. That's too big. Yeah, let's drop it. Yeah, I know. I should be way more freaking organized than this. It's like everything I've got is just a slight bit too freaking big.